It all began with a dream. The year is 22 BC. Herod the Great, king of Judea, who was crowned in Rome, is keen to strengthen the commercial ties between the Roman Empire and his kingdom. In his vision, Herod imagined a deep-water harbor to shelter ships from across the empire. A harbor with a man-made breakwater, a high tower and strong fortified walls to provide a safe haven for merchant vessels. This was a revolutionary project, ambitious in scale and unique in region. His dream Herod named Caesarea. Thousands of workers toiled to make this dream a reality. Enormous wooden caissons are sunk into the sea to form the foundations of the massive breakwater. Out of the shifting sands, born both of skill and pioneering engineering techniques, the harbor is taking shape. In a dozen years, Herod's dream has become real. Where once there were dunes, now stands a beautiful harbor city, thronged with people and thriving with life. Ships carrying rich cargoes arrive from all corners of the empire. The elegance of Caesarea is admired throughout the region. Merchants and workmen are everywhere. Towering above the harbor, the fire is burning bright on the Drusian Tower, bringing ships safely to port. To honor his Roman patrons, Herod builds a temple in the harbor front and dedicates it to the goddess Roma and Augustus Caesar. In return, he gains the trust of the Roman Empire, and his reign reaches as far as Syria. After Herod's death, his heirs failed to step into his shoes, and his charismatic presence and tough regime are no more. His successors fade into the mists of time, and the Roman hold on Caesarea grows stronger. Caesarea becomes the capital of the Roman province of Palestine and headquarters of the Roman governor. The deep-water harbor is a source of income and employment to the flourishing city. Storms and earthquakes damage the breakwater and the fortified walls. Yet the city stands and attracts Jews, Christians, and pagans alike. A Jewish community develops in Caesarea and becomes one of the most dominant in the land. Its centers of education and knowledge draw numerous scholars. Many entertainment venues are established in Caesarea. Theater plays and horse races draw huge audiences. By the end of the 4th century, the Roman Empire collapses, and its place in the east is taken by the rising Byzantine Empire. This is a new era for Caesarea. Better fortified walls are built to surround it. The gladiators' games are banned, but chariot races continue to entertain the citizens and their guests. Prosperity is everywhere. The markets are abundant with fine olive oil and wines, and trade is flourishing. Christianity becomes the official religion of the Byzantine Empire. The temple of the goddess Roma and Augustus Caesar is torn down to build in its place an amazing octagonal church. The city's wealth is clearly evident in the richly designed and decorated church. Alas, man-made network cannot survive the forces of nature for long. Severe earthquakes continue to hit Caesarea. Gradually, the breakwater's foundations deteriorate and the harbor is flooded. In the 7th century, after many battles and a 7-month siege, Byzantine Caesarea, which was one of the most prosperous and fortified cities in the land, falls to the Muslim hands. A mosque with a magnificent arcade facing the sea is built where the Roman temple and the Byzantine church once stood. When the city's great harbor finally yields to earthquakes and storms, Caesarea becomes a sleepy town and its ruins turn into marble quarries. In the 12th century, once again the tides of war are upon Caesarea. European crusaders invade the land, hoping to conquer the Christian holy cities. From the struggle of war, Caesarea emerges to be rebuilt. A new quay is built in the harbor, and impressive crusader walls surround the reviving city. For 200 years, the wars between Muslims and crusaders have shattered the Holy Land. It is the year 1265. An immense and powerful Muslim army is approaching Caesarea's walls, led by the Mamluk Sultan, Baybars. After 3 days of battle, Baybars soldiers break into the city, spreading havoc and destruction. For the first time since its foundation, Caesarea is thoroughly demolished. Sultan Baybars does not rest until he razes Caesarea, wishing to wipe it from the face of the earth. Caesarea fades slowly into the realms of dream and fantasy for which it was created. But the legend of Caesarea does not end here. As it was created by the vision of Herod the Great, modern Caesarea has been revived by the vision of a single man, Baron Edmund Benjamin de Rothschild. The Baron purchased Caesarea's lands, aspiring to turn them into a unique place of creativity, tourism, community, recreation, and leisure. Thanks to him, Caesarea is prosperous again, and life fills the city once more. Today, Caesarea combines an industrial research and development park, a leading community, together with some of Israel's most beautiful tourist sites. The buildings that we see here are dated from over 100 years ago and were built for Bosnian refugees, but their foundations were laid precisely where once stood the Roman Temple, the Drusian Tower, and the ancient walls of Caesarea. Most of Caesarea's harbor is immersed under the sea, but the theater and the hippodrome stand as they were in ancient times. And the city's glorious past is evident and complements today's development. Thus, through thousands of years, Caesarea stands, a city made from dreams. A city where past, present, and future are combined together.